Hello everyone, welcome to another fantastic episode of Raw and Real Finance. I am Rushank, as always, joined by my co-host Abhishek. Abhishek is back from his Iceland trip. We will do an entire review on his Iceland redemption in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Today's episode is all about the question and answers what all the subscribers have put on the recent post on our YouTube community. We will be taking all those questions today and answering them.
Hi guys, this is Abhishek joining from Helsinki. I'm at the St. George Hotel. It's a design hotel, part of the Marriott portfolio. So I've used revenue booking here and I'll talk about it when I come back to India. This is my last day. I'll be going back to India. I have a flight this evening, so I'll be leaving for the airport soon. Let me take this opportunity to share some Q&A. So we have a question from Ashish Raghuvanshi. He says, Marriott points value is less as compared to a few months back. Apart from that, Air France, where do these points may be used to get the best value? So this hotel costs 400 euros a night, 450, 500 euros a night. So almost 50,000 rupees a night. And I had booked this hotel for 119,000 points for 3 nights. So you can just do a back calculation. It was giving me a value of more than 1 rupee anyways. But yeah, eventually I ended up doing a revenue booking instead of that. But it's not that the Marriott's points have lost their value. Yes, for certain redemptions they have. But this is a dynamic world and therefore you will have to be a bit more specific in terms of your searches and have to be a bit more flexible. So that's the key. Talking about Air France, when we talk about Air France, I think the most interesting redemptions do usually come when you do either India or Europe, because they have some special redemption tickets which come at a very discounted price. I don't remember what's it specifically called, but yeah, you do see those points. So you have to be a bit flexible, and these tickets are slightly far off and may not be available in the peak season. But that's where you will get the best value from the India to Europe route. And you can do India to Paris as well and India to Amsterdam. Those are fantastic locations to go, and they are direct flights from India, multiple places, Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore. So you can try that. Going on to the next question. So there's a question from RG. He says Forex payments done on add-on card is considered for TCS on add-on card holder's PAN or the primary card holder's PAN. Add-on card number is different from primary card. So the thing is, right now the TCS regulations are applicable only when you are doing either Forex purchases or you are doing transactions via net banking or debit card. Credit cards, because it's a loan product, an unsecured loan product, so it is currently out of the purview of TCS of 10 lakh rupees, which is upgraded from last year's 7 lakh rupees. So your card will not be impacted either by using the add-on card or the primary card. Only caveat here is if you are using travel agents and paying them via credit card, let's say Make My Trip, and you are doing a holiday package, or let's say Thomas Cook or anybody, then these TCS will kick in. But if you do airline booking or hotel booking directly like I have done, there will be no TCS regulation coming into the picture. Taking on the next question. This is from Mohana Jaya Narayanam VMJ. Hope I pronounce your name correctly. How many premium credit cards like Infinia, EPM, etc. one should possess, considering all of them are paid? Do we get the maximum return out of it? So for most people, I think one premium card is good enough, assuming that you will have between 10 to 20 lakh annual expenses. In case you have a specific use case where, let's say, you are buying too many vouchers, then I think EPM or Infinia can be a very good case. If you do a lot of non-loyalty point bookings, you can do that via Smart Buy. You can also do that via Axis Atlas, and then it's a mid-tier travel card. So you can assume that you will get roughly around 3% return on those. If you have a monthly recurring rent or tax payment which you want to pay, you can use HSBC Premier. So depending on your use case, you can start with one. But in case you feel that there are certain use cases where one card is not sufficient, in that case what you can do is you can take another premium credit card. But also consider the fact that since these are paid, you also get points for the payments that you do. So if you are paying 12,500 plus GST for EPM, you are getting similar amount of points, and same for Infinia. So you are getting the value back. It is only a threshold which the banks keep so that people who are genuinely interested to use those cards come into the credit card game. There's one more question from Yuvraj Vadivel. Holding Atlas eligible for Magnus non-Burgundy, is it worth it, or shall I go for other cards? Flight and hotel booking will be more. So in case you have only flight and hotel bookings majorly, then Atlas is sufficient for you. Only in case you feel that there are certain other expenses and eventually taking a normal Magnus will give you the option to have a Burgundy card later. Only in that case go for the regular Magnus card, but otherwise your Atlas should suffice, and if you can take one more Atlas later in your family member's name, I think that will be really helpful for you if you have more flights and hotel bookings. There's a question from Harsh Bhargav. Best hotel membership program and airline program. I have Amex card. These are very subjective question. So if you're traveling mostly in domestic, I think Air India and Indigo both have a loyalty program now. Depending on your use case and the flights you take, which cities you stay and which cities you go to, you can decide between Air India and Indigo. The advantage of Air India is that it also gives you an option to do international redemptions via partners as well as on their own metal. So I would prefer Air India. But if I talk about hotel, we would recommend both Accor and Marriott depending on your use case. So if you are going to locations where you have too many Marriotts or where you easily find hotels, then it is good for Marriott chain. Otherwise, you can consider if you want to take very low budget solo travel kind of hotels and like Ibis etc. And Ibis is also good. So then you can probably consider Accor. Accor also gives you the flexibility of buying an Accor Plus membership and enjoying additional benefits in Southeast Asia and the Pacific region, and that is an immense valuable proposition for you. Marriott, because it is an American chain, so you have a much larger footprint in the US, in Middle East, and then in Asia as well. Europe also it's there, but it is a bit more expensive. Accor is more pocket friendly and budget friendly, so you will find good hotels which you can probably use for Accor. Okay, next question. So yeah, I'll try to answer two more. Does HSBC Premier Card give reward points on taxes up to 1 lakh rupees a month? Yes, HSBC has a limit of 1 lakh rupees per month. So basically you will get 3000 points on all your tax payments, utility payments, whichever categories are excluded otherwise. So yes, this is a very valuable card from that angle if you can't get, let's say, a Biz Black kind of a card. And finally, there's one more question from the same person. I can't see his name, but yeah. Does Magnus Burgundy give points on educational fee payment? Yes, absolutely. Magnus Burgundy gives educational fee payment points if you are making those payments on the school portal and not on a third party site. So if your school has a portal where you directly put your card number, even if they are using services of a third party, let's say aggregator or something like Razorpay, you will get those points on your educational fee payments as well. So that's it guys. So I'll be signing off from Helsinki very soon, and this is called St. George Hotel. This is one of the oldest hotels in Helsinki. It was established somewhere in 1840s and it is an art deco hotel. So if you will search about it, you will find a lot of funky art pieces, etc. And let me just show you around. I am sitting in a meeting room. The hotel has been gracious enough to give a meeting room to me, and this is a very simple meeting room. Despite in the Nordics you will find very simple setups, this is a very funky hotel, and I'll talk more about this hotel when I'll come back. See you then.
Now, thank you Abhishek for taking through those questions. I'll take the remaining questions here and I'll start from the first question, what is to be answered. So Arul Manohar as do we get accelerated HMIles for ACCOR membership payment using Atlas? To answer you Arul, yes, you get accelerated HMile points on using Atlas while taking ACCOR Plus membership. The cost of ACCOR membership is around 16,500 rupees. You will get 5 HMile points on every 100 rupees spent for this spends. Alternatively, you can look into group buy of ACCOR membership where you can get a discounted rate. So we do discuss all those things in our WhatsApp community. If you're interested, you can join our WhatsApp community as well. The link for the same I put in the description. Okay, we move to the next question now. It is from Venkatesh. Venkatesh is saying he has a trip to Uzbekistan in November first week with 6 friends and he's going to stay in Mercure. If I take Brazil ACCOR membership, whether it will be useful for paying as well and take the benefit of ACCOR Plus status. Currently he is ACCOR Plus Silver status. So my answer to you, definitely if ACCOR Brazil fits into your budget because it requires upfront investment of around a lakh. So if you are interested in investing that amount of money, because you get obviously the much higher points, which if someone translates, the effective cost of those points will be around 1 rupee or 1.1 rupee per point. It is a good plan to have if you are someone who is extensively looking to use ACCOR property for their travel and leisure purposes. Definitely you should go for it and you should plan to buy, and do let us know your experience of buying ACCOR Brazil and how you're making the most of it. So we move to now another question. It is from Dhruv. Dhruv says he has 60,000 Amex points. What is the best I can do with these points in terms of international flight booking? Dhruv, it's a very generic question. You will first have to identify which location you intend to go with 60,000 points. If you're alone, for example, you can explore any place, whether it's Sri Lanka, for example, you can transfer your points to Cathay Pacific and explore those, or Hong Kong, or you can also explore London via Virgin Atlantic or US via Virgin Atlantic. So you'll have to see which location fits you and your requirement, because with 60,000 points for a single person, one can really make an effective use of these points. In fact, we have one shot also which we had posted on our channel months back. We have shown how you can burn your Amex points to travel to London in premium economy via Virgin Atlantic, and this shot can be very useful to you. So do watch out that as well. So next question is from MS. MS is one of the paid community members who has taken the membership. His question is, we will talk about ACCOR HERA if it's really good, and then a dedicated video will be helpful. MS, we had done one podcast with Amar Kedia, Travel Blues handle on Twitter. He had covered about FORA and HERA. So do watch out that video. We have covered in depth about ACCOR as a program from FORA and HERA point of view. But if you still have further questions in and around that, do reach out to us. We will be happy to share more info with you. So now we move next question. It is from Nivethan. If you have Infinia, DCB and Atlas, does it make sense to go for a Magnus for Burgundy at 30,000 plus GST? If yes, then what kind of minimum spend and how you plan to spend across the cards for maximum benefits? Interesting question. It's all about how many cards you can have in your portfolio. Answer lies very simple: how much spend you can do annually. If I understand you already have a DCB or Infinia and Atlas, and if you have annual spends around 20 to 25 lakhs, these cards should suffice. There's no need to go for Magnus Burgundy. However, you think you can use Burgundy only for 20 lakh spends, then Magnus becomes really effective because of accelerated edge reward program what they have. So maybe you can think of moving everything to Magnus Burgundy over Infinia and Atlas, or DCB or Atlas, if you have 20-25 lakh spends and you just want to have one card. Secondly, you can see what card is LTF. If DCB Infinia is LTF for any reason under alumni program, then you can keep one of those cards. You can discontinue Atlas and move to Magnus Burgundy. So you will have to look into spends. Magnus really become effective with the high spends like 25, 30, 35 lakhs annual spends, and use that card extensively every month, because once you cross 1.5 lakhs in a month, that's where the benefit of Magnus Burgundy kicks in. So you will have to look into your spends, your annual spends, how it is coming, whether it's evenly spread out or one time big expense or something, and then you bring that focus, and maybe you can look at discontinuing existing cards and add Magnus, because Magnus is the undisputed king in this credit card world. If you're getting it, you should take it over other cards for sure. Now we move to the next question. It is from Venkatesh. He's planning a US trip next year for attending conference in Chicago and planning to return from Los Angeles. Departure city from Chennai, need to book business class, have Biz Black, Axis Atlas, Amex flat charge. Which airline should I consider and which card I need more to accumulate points? Need 2 business first class tickets. This is a very generic question. We don't know what kind of air miles you have. You can use Amex flat charge concierge service to get benefit. If Air India, then there is a multiplier on Amex flat charge. However, if you're looking at other airlines, maybe like United, then you can also look at Access Atlas, like booking directly on United Airlines. So you'll have to see what best rate you're getting on which airline as a first step. You can take help of Amex flat charge concierge desk to get the quote. You probably will get very good quote, and then you can look how you can make the maximum of it. In fact, Amex flat charge also have an offer. If you book more than 1 lakh rupee travel, then you get 15,000 Yatra voucher as well. So you can look all those permutation combination to begin with. First thing, you build your plan and check on normal OTA what kind of price you are getting for business class or first class. Second step, you go to Amex Platinum Concierge to understand for similar dates what can be the pricing. And then third step will be to look on the direct website of airlines, Air India or United Airlines or Virgin Atlantic, just to ensure that what kind of pricing you are getting and that where Access at least come into picture. Now you have HDFC Biz Black. You can use this by transferring your points to Singapore Airlines, where now the second step, you will have to check on Singapore Airlines whether there are any star airlines going to US. Effectively, it's Air India, if you just want to put in the simple words, but you can check their other airlines partners also on Star Airlines platform, where you will be able to use Singapore Airlines miles. This is a packing order I am giving you. You can explore your journey through this. And let us know in comments once you finalize your strategy. Do share your journey of exploring this all options. Okay, now we move to next question. We have from Swagat. This question is, which premium credit card will suit my need? Infinia or EPM? Have annual spends of 7 to 10 lakhs with 1 or 2 domestic trips per year. Want one no nonsense card where I can shift all my spends. So which one is better? So Swagat, it's very difficult to answer your question, which is best. Both are premium cards. In fact, Infinia is a no-nonsense card. It gives points on almost all the categories, where ICICI EPM may still have some exclusions. To answer your question, so you can actually explore Infinia because it gives points on almost all the categories. It's something you're looking for, whether it's education, groceries, utilities, everywhere. ICICI EPM, though very good card with very good reward multiplier, may have some smaller exclusions. So looking at both the cards, you can look Infinia. However, if you are not able to get Infinia, then you should go for EPM for sure. Both cards are effective. You earn reward points through your spends or reward multiplier, and you redeem on their respective platforms for your travel. If you can hold both, that's great. But if it boils down to one, you can look at Infinia over Emerald Private Metal. What I can do, Swagat, for you, I'll put the link for both the reviews we have done earlier on channel in the description. You can go through the reviews of both the cards and then take an informed decision. Okay, we will take next question. MS has given few suggestions. First one is to do tax payment series, which are the best card for paying tax. Definitely MS, we will take this feedback and come with some kind of a video on this. Second, comparison video for airline co-branded cards, Indus in Avios, ICICI Emirates and SBI KrisFlyer. Third, how to get card upgrade from different banks, eligibility process. MS, thanks for your suggestion. We will look into it and we will try to bring as much as content possible around all those suggestions you had given. So thank you, MS. So next question, we have details about AVIOS like transfer from Finnair, Iberia, British, and how to maximize. For instance, Infinia points to Finnair, not Qatar. So as back to answer this, we will be definitely coming with the entire detail of how to maximize AVIOS and how to look at best way to maximize your points. So stay tuned for that. We actually had touched upon Indus in AVIOS credit card a few weeks back, and where we had at the end of the episode we said that we will be doing entire detailed review on AVIOS. So it is in pipeline. It will come. So wait and watch for some more time. You will see entire detail on AVIOS. So next question we have from Utsav. His question is, does HSBC premium credit card give reward points on tax up to 1 lakh a month? To answer you, Utsav, yes, HSBC does give points, but that is limited to the few. Okay, yes. To answer your question, yes, it gives you points till 1 lakh. However, with the new rules setting in from 1st April, there are few categories together put. You have 1 lakh limit. So you'll have to ensure you spend wisely. In 1 month you pay taxes, another month you use other categories of those 1 lakh pool. It's a very good card to have. It's a no-nonsense card, I believe. You pay 1 lakh rupee worth of tax, you get 3,000 points. If you transfer to ACCOR, you get a value of roughly 6,000 rupees. Now ACCOR has been valuing close to around 2 rupees. Second question from Utsav is, does HDFC Marriott 4 lakh spends to get 10,000 point include fuel spends also? So the good part about HDFC, they don't have any exclusion from the milestone point of view. However, you don't accrue points on fuel spends, but from the milestone point of view, this will be counted towards your 4 lakh spends and you will be able to get 10,000 points. So now we move to the next question. RG is asking a question. Can you talk about TCS on Forex payment, how it's applicable on which spends and how to track how much is spent per PAN? So this entire question itself is a separate topic and we will try to cover in personal finance section sometime later. But just to give you perspective, from 1st April 2025, the new limit is set in for foreign remittances or foreign payments. You can transfer up to 10 lakh rupees, and on this 10 lakhs, there are different categories of TCS applicable. For example, in case of international travel, it attracts 20% and it is at a PAN level. Just to give you a high level perspective. There are various other categories as well, like education investments, which are covered by government, which are subject to limit of 10 lakhs, and TCS have been different for those categories. We will do an entire detailed episode on this, how you can make the best use of a 10 lakhs limit per member and how you can spread it out across different family members. We move to next. It's not a question, it's a suggestion. He says make a live video, pick a random subscriber, ask them for next trip they are looking at it and plan for it from ground zero. It's a great suggestion. In fact, Siddharth, what we have done on our channel, we had actually covered 2 live trips. Basically, we had touched upon Sri Lanka and Vietnam in live episode. I'm not too sure whether you've seen it. If you're not, you can check out some of our recent live streaming where we have captured Sri Lanka trip and the Vietnam trip, where we have covered how you can make the best of your air miles and reward points to do a trip for individual, for a couple or a family. So do watch out those videos and you will see what we have done a detailed planning either for a couple or a family to those two locations. So Siddhant, another perspective I want to give, we will be definitely coming with more such videos where we will be covering more such trip planning, and also we will be calling few of our friends as a guest, what we have done with Amar or Kiran. There will be further guests coming in who will be sharing their experiences of using credit cards, earning reward points and burning those reward points for amazing trips. So it's all in the pipeline. I will just say this is the beginning of our journey. You will see a lot more stuff coming in future. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do subscribe to our channel. Please share this video to your friends and family who have some similar questions and they're looking for the answers. You also can join our WhatsApp community. It's a vibrant community where people are coming together to help each other. So stay tuned with us, and until next time, keep swiping, keep saving. Thank you.